I'm Sophie.
And I'm Zach. This is the 6th lesson, and welcome to class. Our topic for today is traveling for General English B1.
მოგესალმებით. კეთილი იყოს თქვენი დაბრუნება. მე სოფო ვარ, ეს კი ზაკია. თქვენ უყურებთ ზოგადი ინგლისურს დონე B1. დღევანდელი ჩვენი გაკვეთილის თემა მოგზაურობა.
So for the agenda today, of course, like always, we start with some vocabulary, then we move right along to the reading comprehension, and then next after that, we have the grammar, and then lastly, we have the summary and our favorite part, the homework.
ვიდრე უშუალოდ გაკვეთილზე გადავიდოდეთ, როგორც ყოველთვის, მოდით ერთად გადავხედოთ დღევანდელი დღის გეგმას. დღევანდელი ჩვენი გაკვეთილი დაიწყება ლექსიკის შესწავლით, ამის შემდეგ წავიკითხავთ ტექსტს მოგზაურობის შესახებ, ამის შემდეგ გვექნება გრამატიკული სავარჯიშოები, ამის შემდეგ მოკლედ შევაჯამებთ დღევანდელ გაკვეთილს და დავასრულებთ ჩვენთვის საყვარელი საშინაო დავალებით. Zach, what does the word travel mean to you?
For me, it means to go to new places and experience new things like food and culture and people and traditions, all different things.
Oh yeah, and for me it is more about relaxing and seeing new places and new cultures and visiting new museums. Where did you go last on your holiday?
I went to Signaki and I visited all the nature and the old town and all this and looking at all the nice buildings. It was very, very fun. How about you?
Oh, I went to Jordan. I saw brilliant places. I went for sightseeing. I saw Petra. It was very beautiful and different at the same time.
Wow, so cool. So now we have the vocabulary section and we have the vocabulary words for traveling, as you can see here.
ახლა კი გადავიდეთ ლექსიკის ნაწილზე. ეკრანზე მოცემულია ის სიტყვები, რომელსაც დღეს ერთად შევისწავლით.
So, our first word is rafting, and it is a noun, and it is when you go down a river with a boat.
Rafting in Georgian means ჯომარდობა. Rafting is quite adventurous activity, isn't it?
It definitely is. It's very exciting.
And I would say, is it related to extreme sport as well?
I think so too, especially when you do whitewater rapids.
Rafting in Georgian means ჯომარდობა. Rafting, ჯომარდობა, rafting, ჯომარდობა, rafting, ჯომარდობა.
And next we have hiking, and it is a noun, and it is when you are walking in the mountains up really big hills and mountains.
Hiking, one of my favorite activities, in Georgian means ლაშქრობა. Hiking, ლაშქრობა, hiking, ლაშქრობა, hiking, ლაშქრობა. Our next word is camping, very much related to hiking, I would say. Camping is a noun, and in English it means...
And in English it means going out into the mountains or forests or deserts, and you bring a tent and you live out there doing various outdoor activities like hiking or rafting or all kinds of things like that.
Camping in Georgian means ბანაკში ან კარავში ცხოვრება. Camping, ბანაკში ან კარავში ცხოვრება. Camping, ბანაკში ან კარავში ცხოვრება. Camping, ბანაკში ან კარავში ცხოვრება.
And next we have road trip, which is also a noun. And in English, it is when you take a car and you go on a long journey.
Road trip is a very exciting activity, I believe. And in Georgian, it means მანქანით მოგზაურობა. Road trip, მანქანით მოგზაურობა. Road trip, მანქანით მოგზაურობა. Road trip, მანქანით მოგზაურობა.
And next we have diving, which is a noun. And that is when you go to the ocean or the sea and you dive deep underwater looking at all of the wildlife like fish and coral reefs.
It must be beautiful.
Oh, so beautiful.
Diving in Georgian means ყვინთვა. Diving, ყვინთვა. Diving, ყვინთვა. Diving, ყვინთვა. Our next word is cruise. Cruise is a noun, and in English it means...
And in English, it means when you're on a huge ship and there's lots of activities to do, like a carnival, and it's a bit of a luxury travel too.
And cruise is also related to traveling. So when you're on a cruise, you also visit different countries, different places.
Oh, definitely.
Cruise in Georgian means ზღვით მოგზაურობა ან კრუიზი. Cruise, ზღვით მოგზაურობა ან კრუიზი. Cruise, ზღვით მოგზაურობა ან კრუიზი. Cruise, ზღვით მოგზაურობა ან კრუიზი.
Now let's go to our first vocabulary activity and let's match our words with the pictures.
ახლა კი გადავიდეთ ჩვენს პირველ ლექსიკის დავალებაზე. თქვენს წინაშე მოცემული არის სურათები და სიტყვები. ჩვენ ერთად უნდა შევუსაბამოთ მოცემულ სურათებს, მოცემული სიტყვები. Let's start?
Let's do it.
So, the very first one that we've got here is, I think, the word hiking. So, as I remember, hiking was going up in the mountains. So, which picture would describe walking in the mountains the best?
Oh, I think that's picture D.
And you're absolutely right. D is hiking. So, and our next word is diving, I believe. And as you said, Zach, diving means it's related to the sea, seeing all the fish and the coral reefs. Which word do you think represents that picture?
I think it's C, because you can see a scuba diver and all of the coral reefs in it.
You are absolutely right. And our next word is road trip. And as you said, Zach, road trip was related to car and having a trip with the car. So maybe we should ask our audience what they think. Which picture would describe the road trip?
Oh, very good. You're exactly right. It's F, because I can see a car and they're taking a long trip across the country or the land or wherever.
So F is the right answer. Let's look at our next word now, rafting. You remember we said rafting is related to extreme sport. It was something also related to the water and the boat. So, as you remember, and as I think it's quite obvious now, the picture A best describes the word rafting.
And it looks like a lot of fun too.
It does, right? Our next word is cruise. Zach, could you please help us with this one?
I remember what I said about cruise. It's about a big ship and it goes to different countries a lot of the time and there's lots of activities on it to do. So you have a lot of fun on there as well. So it should be B.
And you're absolutely right. B is the right answer. And what's left is camping. And as Zach said before, camping is related to tents and sleeping bags and going into the mountains again. And it's one of the activities that you would do if you're on a hike. So the best picture describing the word camping would be picture E.
Great job. So now we have more vocabulary and it comes from the reading.
ახლა კი გადავიდეთ შემდეგ ლექსიკის ნაწილზე. ეს სიტყვები უშუალოდ ტექსტიდან არის ამოგრაფილი და ისინი დაგეხმარებათ ტექსტის უკეთ გააზრებაში.
So our first word from this set is snug, which is an adjective and it means when you're all cozy and warm.
Snug in Georgian means მყუდრო. Snug, მყუდრო, snug, მყუდრო, snug, მყუდრო. Our next word is an adjective, and it is picturesque.
And picturesque in English means something very beautiful or very pleasing.
So you can say, for example, a picturesque view, or maybe a nature might be picturesque.
Yeah.
Picturesque in Georgian means ხატოვანი ან თვალწარმტაცი. Picturesque, ხატოვანი ან თვალწარმტაცი. Picturesque, ხატოვანი ან თვალწარმტაცი. Picturesque, თვალწარმტაცი ან ხატოვანი.
And now our next word is scenic, which is an adjective, and it's a little similar to picturesque, but it has a little bit to do with nature and like a beautiful natural view.
Scenic in Georgian means თვალწარმტაცი, პეიზაჟი ან ხედი. Scenic თვალწარმტაცი, პეიზაჟი ან ხედი. Scenic თვალწარმტაცი, პეიზაჟი ან ხედი. Scenic თვალწარმტაცი, პეიზაჟი ან ხედი. Our next word is luxurious. Luxurious is an adjective, and in English it means?
And in English it means something that's very expensive and fancy, like a luxurious cruise ship with all the different kinds of fancy things you need.
Luxurious in Georgian means mdidruli. Luxurious, didruli. Luxurious, didruli. Luxurious, didruli.
And now we have exotic, which is also an adjective, and it means something very different for you and very interesting and very maybe surprising too.
Exotic in Georgian means exotikuri. Exotic, exotikuri, exotic, exotikuri, exotic, exotikuri.
And now we have stunning, which is an adjective, and it means in English when it's something is totally beautiful or amazing or fantastic.
Stunning in Georgian means განსაცვიფრებელი. Stunning, განსაცვიფრებელი. Stunning, განსაცვიფრებელი. Stunning, განსაცვიფრებელი. And our last word in this set of vocabulary is adventurous. Adventurous is an adjective, and in English it means?
And in English it means something very exciting and something you could go out and do, like go hike a huge mountain or go swim in the ocean, something like that.
Adventurous in Georgian means თავგადასავლებით ახსავსე. Adventurous, თავგადასავლებით ახსავსე. Adventurous, თავგადასავლებით ახსავსე. Adventurous, თავგადასავლებით ახსავსე. I believe now it's time to move to the reading, right?
Yeah.
So, Zach, what would your ideal holiday be and why?
Ooh, I think my ideal holiday would to go up into the mountains for days and camp and hike all the places that I can and find all the scenic and beautiful views that I can.
I believe I feel the same way, exactly. So,
Now let's move on to the reading exercise, and we have some advertisements. So we are going to read the travel advertisements below and match the photos with the advertisements.
ახლა კი გადავიდეთ წაკითხulis გააზრებაზე. ამ დავალებისთვის ჩვენ მოცემული გვაქვს სხვადასხვა რეკლამები და ჩვენ უნდა შევუსაბამოთ მოცემული რეკლამები სურათებს.
So for advertisement number 1, do you like the idea of being snug and warm while outside? It's cold and icy. Experience the trip of a lifetime by floating among the glaciers of Antarctica on a cruise ship. So join the ship Ushuaia in the far south of Argentina for a magical 11-day cruise in one of the most stunning places on the planet. Go see kayaking to get up close to the penguins and watch seals basking in the sun.
Okay, so now we have pictures on the screen and we need to choose which picture best describes the advertisement that Zach just read. Let's have a look at the pictures. We have A, B, C, D, and F. So I think the reading was about, Zach, can you please remind us what was it about?
Oh, it was about kayaking in the Arctic and going to the Arctic places in Argentina.
Okay, so since you mentioned Arctic, I think that the answer is quite obvious. It must be picture D, isn't it?
I think it's picture D, definitely.
Thank you very much. And now let's move to our next advertisement. Relax on your luxurious houseboat and cruise along the backwaters of Kerala. Hundreds of miles of rivers allow you to see so much of the southern Indian state. Visit villages, buy fresh fruit from the riverside market and just relax as you drift along on the water. So what do you think, Zach? Which one would be would best describe this advertisement? So it was about houseboat, as I believe.
Exactly,
and it was
being on the water.
Yeah, riverside was also mentioned there. So which picture would best describe it? I think it should be B, isn't it?
I think it's definitely B. That looks like the best one.
Great, and the B is the right answer. Let's have a look at the next advertisement now.
Let's do it. So, for advertisement number 3, don't like high-speed road travel? Take the train. Enjoy the slowest train in Europe and ride past some of the most scenic landscapes imaginable. Traveling through 91 tunnels, across 291 bridges, as well as the 7,000-foot high Oberalp Pass. You'll have trouble tearing yourself away from the window.
And for this one, I think because it was about tunnels and the bridges and also train was mentioned there. So I think the answer should be E.
I think so too. It definitely has a bridge and a train on it. So
Very good. Let's have a look at the next advertisement now. The perfect fly drive break. So fly to Lisbon, hire a car at the airport and drive through some of the most stunning landscape around. Stop off at the picturesque town of Obidos with its cobbled streets and medieval walls to experience a bit of a history and to taste some of the regional dishes on offer. So, Zach, Lisbon, which one would best describe the beautiful landscape and the picturesque town, the marbled, the cobbled streets? I think that should be A, shouldn't it?
I think that's definitely A, with a nice little house in the cobbled streets. It looks
Yes.
very, very, very picturesque and pretty.
I agree with you, and the right answer is A.
100%. And now let's move on to the last advertisement, number 5. So, hiking, climbing, and camping in one of the most remote parts of the USA. Why not spend a week away from it all in the world-famous Yosemite National Park? If you're lucky, you might even see one of the many black bears found in the park, while the more adventurous can go rafting down the Merced River. What do you think, Sophie? Which picture is that has beautiful nature and
I think that the picture C would the best describe the beautiful, picturesque, scenic nature that you just described in the advertisement. So
totally, with big mountains and forests and a nice
cliff,
river. Yeah.
So I think it's C.
Definitely. Awesome.
Great.
So now let's move on to the grammar section, where we will discuss used to.
ახლა კი გადავიდეთ გრამატიკის ნაწილზე. აქ ჩვენ განვიხილავთ used to-ს.
So we use used to plus infinitive to refer to past habits or states. In such cases, used to can be replaced by the past simple with no difference in meaning. For example, I used to go camping with my family when I was a child.
used to-ს ვიყენებთ წარსული ჩვევების ან განმეორებადი მოქმედებების გამოსახატავად. used to ასევე შეიძლება ჩანაცვლდეს წარსული მარტივი დროით.
So, we use the past simple and not used to for actions which happen at a definite time in the past. For example, I went hiking with my friends last summer. ჩვენ გამოვიყენებთ წარსულ მარტივ დროს და არა used to-ს, როდესაც ვიცით თუ როდის დასრულდა მოქმედება წარსულ დროში. In the negative form, we have the following construction. Did plus not plus use plus to plus infinitive. In the question form, we have the following construction. Did plus I, you, he, she, it, we. They plus use plus to plus infinitive. For example, we didn't used to travel abroad. Did you used to travel with your family? გახსოვდეთ, რომ used to-ს აუცილებლად მოყვება ინფინიტივი ფორმა.
ხოლო კითხვით და უარყოფით ფორმებში ჩვენ გვჭირდება ზმნა did. Did not used to და ინფინიტივი, ან კითხვით ფორმაში did I used to და ინფინიტივი.
So now let's go on to the grammar exercises and rewrite the sentences using used to or did not used to.
ახლა კი უნდა გადავწეროთ წინადადებები და გამოვიყენოთ used to and did not used to. And our first sentence is I don't walk to work anymore. So, how would you rewrite this sentence using used to or did not used to?
So I think we change it to I used to walk to work.
And you're absolutely right. Let's have a look at the next sentence. I go to the cinema every afternoon.
So I didn't used to go to the cinema every afternoon.
Our next sentence is I live in a small house.
And it should be I used to live in a big house.
And our next sentence is I haven't got long hair anymore.
So I used to have long hair.
I eat lots of fruits.
And I didn't used to eat lots of fruits. Now we are at the summary section. And for today, we discussed travel. And that was what our vocabulary was about. And then we moved on to the reading comprehension and talked about different kinds of holiday destinations. And then after that, we discussed the grammar, which was used to.
ახლა კი მოდით ერთად შევაჯამოთ დღევანდელი გაკვეთილი. დღეს ჩვენ შევისწავლეთ ლექსიკური ერთეულები, რომლებიც უკავშირდებოდა მოგზაურობის თემას, წავიკითხეთ ტექსტი ასევე მოგზაურობაზე და განვიხილეთ გრამატიკა, რომელიც ეხებოდა used to-ს. ახლა კი დროა გადავიდეთ საშინაო დავალებაზე.
And now let's go on to our favorite section, the homework. And for your homework, please write a short paragraph about your ideal holiday. And please send it to the address on the screen.
საშინაო დავალებად გთხოვთ დაწერეთ მოკლე აბზაცი და აღწერეთ როგორია თქვენთვის იდეალური დასვენება. თქვენ შეგიძლიათ გამოგვიგზავნოთ თქვენი დავალებები ეკრანზე მოცემულ მისამართზე. იქ ასევე დაგხვდებათ ნიმუში, რომელიც შეგიძლიათ გამოიყენოთ. შევხვდებით შემდეგ გაკვეთილზე. Bye bye.
Bye bye. See you next time.